Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Virtual Sunlight Championship for Race 5 from the Redbull Ring GP circuit. Let's take a quick look at the current championship standings. Demon R leading the way on 68 points, 3 ahead of Steve F1, who is a few ahead of Art Pal, who's in 3rd place on 57, SGP in 4th, Conrad 5th, Twilight 6th, Dave the Harp 7th, Formula Gary in 8th, Jason in 9th, Jimmy in 10th, Almighty Narsh, that's Bob in 11th, SRI in 12th, Rich Blues in 13th, and Hay, the last of the point scorers at the moment, in 14th place. Now, there is a couple of drivers unable to make today's race, but like usual, that won't detract from any of the action. Right, let's hand over to the commentators. So here we go then, the Virtual Sunlight Championship for Race 5 from the Redbull Ring. Joining me on commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray? Don't do it, don't you dare do that, you son of a bull. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what's SGP doing here?
Oh, yeah, how you doing? SGP, back in position.
Were you on mute or was you joking?
I was joking.
You bastard. Yeah, okay, so just to mention, we are on a formation lap, folks. And SGP has dropped a position. A bit of an odd one, that really. Twilight's in 5th place, though. So Steve F1 pole, Demon R 2nd now, SGP 3rd, Artpal 4th, Twilight 5th, Dave the Harp 6th, SRI in 7th, I believe. Yeah, SRI 7th, Conrad in 8th, Formula Gary in 9th, and there's a few a little bit further back. But yeah, SGP apparently saying just before the race that he was not happy with his own qualifying lap. He extended the final corner, didn't think he was going to be improving his lap when he crossed the line, but did improve his lap. And prior to that, I think he was in the 3rd place already. Bit of an odd one, Ray, but maybe that's something we can talk about afterwards.
Rich and Jimmy. It's a race at the moment. Rich and Jimmy. Rich was bum driving Jimmy down that straight in the formation lap.
Maybe Jimmy saw the last week's G-Spot and thought, I'm not letting Rich overtake me on a formation lap. Bob and Hay at the back of the field there. Bob with his livery on finally. But here we go then. Steve F1 heading into the penultimate corner. The go-no-go zone starts at the start of the concrete pit wall, and nobody can overtake until the start-finish gantry. Okay, so Steve F1 will be able to get going anytime from now that he chooses, or now, so yeah, so anytime he wants. Doesn't look, oh, now he's gone. I was going to say, doesn't look like he's gone, but now he's gone. Got a little bit of a gap on Demon R, who's got a bit of a gap on SGP, and Artpal in 4. Dave the Harp's got deep into turn 1. Maybe a bit of cold brakes there, Ray.
Yeah, cold tyres as well if you've not been heating them up. So yeah, Dave the Harp just found out the hard way. Yep. As we see SRI on the park cam attack. Oh!
SRI being nearly spun around on the back cam by, I think that was Conrad. Okay, Demon R in 2nd. Steve F1 has opened up a little bit of gaps to SGP. Having a look up the inside into what we will call turn 3. A very tricky corner. Oh, Artpal went a bit deep. Twilight went deeper, and Gary, he's in the gravel. He's that deep. Yeah, don't say a thing. Don't say a thing. What's that, Gary? Sex on the beach?
We see these front 4 just peeling away from the pack a bit.
Yeah, on the pack cam, though, Rich and Conrad were side by side through the S's. Rich has managed to just get ahead. Oh, a few of the drivers. Yeah, struggling with the track limits. We touched on it a bit last week, didn't we? We do want to be seeing the drivers within the track limits, but not to say that... look at... Oh, my goodness me. I don't know if you saw that, right? On the pack cam, for anyone watching at home, just quickly rewind and watch it. SGP just had massive lag on the pack cam, but not on the main screen. Yeah, a little bit odd.
Yeah. Don't know what that is. Oh, he's got a good run on Demon R here.
Has he? Or do we know for certain? Oh, there's been a big crash at the back of the pack. Oh dear, oh dear. SGP is trying to make that move up the inside. And can he get it done? No, he can't. The outside may look like the quicker line there, Ray.
Yeah, they just couldn't get that move done. Now he's got Artpal closing in on him, so he's got to be careful.
Oh, that he has. He doesn't want to end up with 4 kids now, does he?
Artpal have 4 kids.
I thought he was on about SGP, sorry. If Artpal's got 4 kids, he probably wants to know where the other 3 are. Yeah, so track limits, as the tyres begin to heat up and things like that and the grip comes into them, I would expect to see drivers off track a lot less. So we've got a bit of a battle going on in the background there. Gary alongside Conrad, that's on the pack cam. And I am also hearing as well that, not that we can see it on the main screen, but SGP may be suffering from lag. So keep an eye out for that on the pack cam, folks, because it would appear we may have 2 different views as SGP goes a little deep but gets away with it and manages to stay ahead of Artpal. But Demon R now closing in on Steve F1 up at the front.
Yeah, and there's a battle at the back. I think it's Twilight and SRI been battling. Artpal nearly went.
Yeah, Dave the Arp got in there as well alongside Twilight, I think it was, who was, as you said, battling with SRI. Conrad coming in on that fight now as well. Fuel and tyres, I suppose we should talk a little bit about fuel and tyres. Tyres should be fine, get to the end. Fuel, I'd be surprised if we see...
That's another story.
Well, that is. I don't think we'll see anybody doing a one-stop. Okay, I don't think that was lag. I think SGP was actually trying to get into the pits. He is in the pits.
Dave the Harp light there in the background.
Well, I didn't see, even though I'm looking at the screen, I didn't see it. Okay, I'm just going to see what information there is from the pit lane. We'll get back to you on that one as is that SRI and Artpal now. So that little moment between Artpal and SGP has put SRI now into the fight and overtaking Artpal for that 3rd place as Conrad getting a little bit twitchy behind Dave the Harp.
Yeah, SRI's just got to watch out for Artpal coming back at him here. SRI's went defensive. So go round outside if you dare.
Oh, SRI you'd think SRI just got on the apex curb there and may have sent the car a little bit sideways, but manages to get ahead, stay ahead. So yeah, doing well. Demon R is closing in on the back of Steve F1, by the way. We may see that on the pack cam at some point as Conrad now on the pack cam with Twilight behind him. The field getting a little bit spread here, Ray.
Yeah, well, I think it'll mainly be on the main straight. It seems they're all on the same straight, except from SGP, who we know has pitted. So Artpal's get the slipstream. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Oh, he's close. If the SRI goes wide or messes up on the curb, he's got a chance.
Yeah, definitely. Bob and Jimmy very, very close, and there is SGP, and I'm hearing as well Pat Cam, that's Steve F1, and they're on the main screen now. So Demon R has caught up to the back of Steve F1, but yeah, I am hearing that SGP's pit stop was strategic in terms of getting out of everybody's way with his bad lag. Okay, Artpal having a look at SRI. SRI goes defensive. Is Artpal going to go for a switch back on the pack cam? Gary making a move on Twilight as well. Artpal can't get the switch back done, but Twilight might on the pack cam. No, he can't. Well,
no, I
just
was
watching.
Listening, sorry. Yeah.
He's enjoying the entertainment. Oh, Gary.
He's going up the inside.
That just, it made me think of a song. I can't remember what it's called though, but it kind of sounds like it goes, got it, oh, got it, oh.
I know the song, I can't remember it.
Yeah. No, as well, you're thinking of that, SRI still ahead of Artpal. So yeah, fuel.
Dave the Harp's catching them as well.
That he
Trying
is.
to get your fuel in.
That's right. Yeah, fuel, I think, well, look at it. Artpal's only, well, you've got a bit more than half a tank, and we're nearly 10 minutes into this race, so I think we'll be comfortably all Demon are having a look at. No, he's not. Yeah, so Steve F1's got a bit over half a tank as well. So, yeah, we should be looking at a 2-stop. For anyone thinking, well, we're nearly at 10 minutes, can't we go another 10 minutes? Don't forget, folks, there was a formation lap. That has a big effect. Demon R really closing in. Not going for the move, though, Ray. Is he playing a tactical game, maybe?
Yeah, and Arpal's still over the back of SRI. As we see, Conrad, he's just got a little bit of gap to... Is that Gary?
Got it! Got it! Oh!
I thought Twilight was up there.
Has Twilight
pitted? Or doesn't look like he's pitted because SGP's still back there.
I have no idea. SRI going defensive into the penultimate corner. That'll compromise him though. You end up with a slow section right now, but he has managed to stay ahead. We'll see if Arpal can get closer. Demon R on the pack cam. It does look like Demon R is not attacking Steve F1. We see him on the main screen now. I mean, normally, as you mentioned, around this track, the overtaking places really kind of turn 2 and turn 3. So I think for the leaders, if they're not attacking into 1 and 2, they're not going to be attacking each other anywhere else, are they?
No, and I think Demon R's got a bit more fuel than Steve F1.
Ooh.
I'm sure I've seen that. Just a little bit, not too much. Arpal and SRI still at it.
Oh, that they are. SRI definitely going defensive, covering that inside line. The thing is, you can go deep on the brakes on the outside line, but what you can't do is go wide onto the dirty bit of the track. Arpal's all right, though. He should have a decent run here, and the inside line for the left-hander.
Yep, as he... they're just sticking it out.
Ooh, a bit wobbly.
A wee bit wobble there.
The thing is, this is where Dave's now going to have a bit better speed over the both of them through these corners, or on the exit of them. He should do anyway, with them having a little bit of a battle. Arpal, oh no, he's not going defensive. SRI having a cheeky look. Arpal just about gives him the room. SRI slots in behind. Gary on the pack cam, battling side by side through those same corners with Conrad, I believe. Someone else has just dived into the pits.
Rich boys as well.
SGP has gone back into the pits, you know. Interesting. That interesting timing on that, because we're not far off the sort of the pit stop window for the two.
What's happened to Dave the Harp? Because he was right behind us. He's dropped back.
I wonder if he's dropped it down to lean. Well, actually, no, you know what? I wonder if he may have got a bit squirrely over the curbs at turn 1. It's very easy to do. SRI using all of the track there. Do have to be careful though of dipping a wheel on the AstroTurf, especially on the exit corners around this track, because it can spin you. Who are we having a look at there? Conrad, Gary and Bob in a little 3-way. Ooh la la. Ménage à trois.
I thought Bob going for the move there? He looked to go tighter into the corner. Oh, Demon R, Steve F1.
Into the pits.
Pals continued. Our eyes went on.
Yeah, that has just gone.
We know what happens when SRI puts at the same times as these guys.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, you mentioned earlier Demon R's got more fuel than Steve F1. That would suggest to me that Demon R was fuel saving behind Steve F1, because normally Steve F1's the one that's gentle on the fuel. That would suggest to me as well that maybe Demon R's got a bit more pace in the car. But yeah, I was going to mention, seeing the guys go into the pits there has reminded me there was something I was asked to look at on the G-Spot and completely forgot, to do with how we go about pit entries. Oh, look at this, SGP passing Demon R and Steve F1. So we mentioned that he pitted a lap or so ago. This now puts SGP back into the fight here, Ray.
Yeah, because if he's pitted a lap or so ago, he's only got 1 lap less fuel than these guys that have just pitted.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Well, not only
that's
that.
2 pits, isn't it? Because one for his lag issue and another one.
Hay making the move on Jimmy there, and Twilight closing in. Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, it's possible that Demon R and Steve F1 may not realise that SGP has made a second pit stop, because as far...
Oh, he nearly hit the wall.
It's a little wobbly there, wasn't he? Who's that? Is that Twilight? Yeah, Twilight making the move on Hay. Hay and Jimmy still battling. Hey, there's a racetrack over there.
Twilight has pitted. That's probably why he dropped back, because... or we did see him up with Conrad in that, because he's pitted, because he... Jesus Christ.
Hey,
you went to see Mama?
I thought Hay was trying to pile him, well, I thought he was trying to pile himself onto the rest of the hay bales. But yeah, he needs to make sure he's reducing any times that happens. So yes, just looking at SCP's opening up the gap on Demon R and Steve F1 here. Oh, he's making the move on Jimmy. Is he going to go up the inside of Hay as well? No. Oh,
Jimmy
Demon R is though. Sorry, Demon R's up the inside of Steve F1. Oh, side by side. SGP making the move on Hay. Steve F1 trying to make the move on Jimmy. And Demon R making the move on no one. Art Pal into the pits. Oh, Jimmy. Go on.
I thought Jimmy was on lean, because the way SGP just drove past him and Steve F1 trying to get through as he got through. Oh, Jimmy and Demon R a wee bit wide there.
Oh, yep. Jimmy a little wide again. Demon R a little wide again. So yeah, I mean, Demon R definitely not gained anything there. I don't think Jimmy has either. Hey,
look who's caught up, because they're battling.
Jimmy's got sideways on the curb. I think that might be what happened to Dave the Arp earlier on. Demon R's got to run on Hay. So has SRI. As SRI gives Jimmy a bit of a bump draft. That will benefit him into turn 2. Demon R going later on at the brakes though. I'm thinking that Demon R may have dropped away from Steve F1 as Art Pal and Rich Blues side by side. So yeah, SRI is getting himself back into the fight here as Hay and Jimmy side by side. Well, fascinating stuff going on.
Yeah, these guys. Oh, Jimmy with a nice wee switchback, but he's not got the... He must be on lean, because he's not got the drive out the corner.
You might be right, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if he is on lean. I mean, I don't think we've ever actually seen him do a pit stop. Conrad into the pits from the lead of the race. That means Bob might be able to lead a race. No, Bob's in the pits. I thought he was going to be able to lead a race, but no. Okay, SRI.
Twilight in the pits as well.
Oh, yeah. With 53%.
Can he get to the end from here?
No,
surely not.
No. 23 minutes? No chance. Surely it's no chance. SRI got a bit of a run on Demon R. Jimmy and Hay very, very wide at turn 1. Need to stop that, guys, as SRI making the move on Demon R up towards turn 2. But I was going to say maybe Demon R can defend that one. Ops, well, either not to, or SRI just a bit quicker at the moment.
I don't think it's quicker.
Well,
but look,
you never know.
SRI's using as much of the road as possible, as much as the curbs as well. If you watch him going into the braking zone.
Oh, wow! Sorry, Connor. Big spin. I think he may have been assisted. I'm not certain. I just saw him going sideways on the pack cameras. Jimmy and Art Pal now side by side. Interestingly, Jimmy and Hay have been a right thorn in the side of everyone that has pitted, haven't they? Everybody that's pitted has had to try and get past Jimmy and Hay, and Rich is trying to get through now as well.
Yeah, they've like just put another wee spin on the race, haven't they? Because just getting involved.
Yep.
Which they're entitled to do. I'm not saying it's wrong.
I am. No, Artpal gets ahead before turn one. Oh, hey, deep on the brakes though. I think he may have just hit Artpal deep through there. Yeah, I think Hay needs to work on his braking point for turn 1 and 2. Or at least definitely for turn 1. What we've got on the pack cam, that's SRI and Demon R, so nothing to see there. Dave the Harp now getting into this, making a move past Jimmy and Hay, and now trying to catch up to Rich Blues. So yeah, a lot going off, as always there is around Red Bull Ring, with it being such a short lap. We don't always get to see lots of overtaking here because it isn't easy to overtake around a lot of this circuit, especially in cars that have got as much grip as these cars have, because once the drivers get through sort of this next left-hander, it's such a quick lap.
Yeah, it's good seeing Rich up there as well. Rich up there battling with the likes of Dave the Harp and Hay and all that.
Yeah, Connor, he's getting in on the back of the Hay into the pits, to the relief of Jimmy and to the relief of the fans at turn 1 who have nearly been run over by Hay on multiple occasions. They're in a different county, but they've nearly been hit. Okay, Connor has...
Maybe he thinks they're hungry and just throws hay at them.
Maybe. Are you calling the Austrian fans horses? No. Okay, 5-way battle then behind Rich Blues. Dave the Harp got the braking around the outside. Oh, Rich.
Yeah, I think Rich was going for the overtake there because he was behind Dave the Harp.
Well, he's definitely ahead now, looking on the pack cam as well.
Looking in there as well. And turn 1, he's got inside Dave the Harp.
Oh, he was lucky he was ahead there, because I think if Rich had still been alongside him, I think Dave may have been putting Rich into the gravel. Connor having a cheeky look up the inside into the left-hander. That may put Rich out of shape for this next left-hander. Oh, Connor's had a wobble, though, and may have just tagged the side of Rich. I don't know if there was a lot in that, but, yeah, it can happen.
Yep, anything can happen.
Oh, Rich gives Connor a little bit of a nudge there. Connor got away with it, though. Actually boosted him through the corner quite nicely.
Yeah, and look at that. He's nearly on the back of Dave the Harp coming up into turn 1. So what you were saying about overtakes, we're just saying, oh, Conrad! where would you say is the best? Like turn 1, turn 3? Or?
Turn 3. For me, turn 3. It's one of those things where I just want to mention as well on the pack cam, Steve F1 has got SRI closing in on him. Yeah, if you make a move into turn 2, chances are you're going to get re-attacked down into 3. But like Conrad here, he's not gone for the move into 2, but he can duck to the inside now, get on those anchors, make the move into 3, and then try and get ahead just about here to get into the left-handers and then break away if you can. I think personally that's the best tactic, because Rich going deep on the marbles. He's saved it though, well done.
Yeah, I thought he was going to just go straight on now.
For a moment he'd lost his marbles and then he gathered them back in again. So you see how Connor has managed to open up that bit of a gap to Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp now under a bit of pressure from Rich, so this is where Connor will hope that Rich is going to pressure Dave a bit, and then Connor can... Oh, Connor's gone wide. Doesn't want to be doing that. So...
Rich is trying to defend from Jimmy there, while he's trying to attack Dave the Harp as well. Rich has got his work cut out.
Well, it's interesting there because it kind of looked like Rich was actually going on the attack of Dave, but I think Rich was just defending from Jimmy. But it's ended up in a situation where Rich has now got the run on Dave the Harp. He's even got the slipstream from Connor. This is exactly what Connor needs, because Connor's less likely now to get attacked down into 3, and he can open up that gap a little bit more into the next few corners. For Rich Blues, he's too far back from Dave the Harp, I think, to have a go. He's closing in. He may have got there a little bit too late. Jimmy getting a little bit sideways. Are we surprised? Of course not.
What was it Charlene was drinking on race night?
Was it some daiquiri?
I thought it was 6 on the beach. I think Jenks should promise Rich if he gets a good score, he gets 6 on the beach.
I'm saying Rich trying round the outside, tricky one that. Oh, I think Dave had a bit of a wobble. Dave going for the pits. Interesting. How much fuel has he got? 36%.
SGP's got a couple more laps.
Yeah, Steve F1's got
Steve
double.
F1's got more.
Well, I'm wondering, whether Steve F1, SRI and Demon R were expecting...
SRI, just a little less.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm wondering if these three were thinking that SGP would have been going into the pits at some point. SRI's got to run on Steve F1 here. Yeah, so I'm surprised that SGP's been able to pull away. SRI making the move up the inside into 3, as we said about earlier. Steve F1's now out of shape. Demon R manages to get through as well. Interesting. I'm wondering if Dave the Harp can get to the end from here. He had plenty of fuel still in the tank, 30-something%. So it'll be interesting. I wonder if we're going to be seeing any of these four diving into the pits. And when I say these four, I do mean, of course, SGP, who is just heading into the final corner. Now he's not going for the pits.
Steve F1's in the pits.
Yeah, now, interesting. Demon R got a bit of a run now. 27% for Steve. See, he could have gone for a few more laps, I reckon, a couple more laps. But maybe he's gone for covering off Dave the Harper's SRI. Opens up the gap a little bit to Demon R. Conrad into the pits as well. Ooh. See, now this is interesting. For anyone pitting now, they could get an undercut on the front 3 here. Steve F1 pitting when he did could have played a blinder as long as he can get to the end, which I think with the fuel use we've had so far, I think he might be able to do it,
SGP will need to go into pits this lap. SRI maybe got another lap.
Maybe.
Because it's not came up his warning, 1 lap warning, so...
Well, thinking about it with SGP, he's not, he was into the red, as we can see again here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he pitted 1 lap before Steve F1 previously. So that was about 11 and a half minutes. So he's done about 15 minutes as SGP. Oh, they're all in the pits. Interesting. Let's have a look at how much fuel they've got. So SGP 3%, SRI 12%, Demon R 15%. Oh, there's Steve F1. He's got a full tank of fuel. But
yeah.
Well, you see, SGP's in an interesting situation because if he's just done 15 minutes on a full tank and there's only 13 minutes to go, means you can either push harder or put less fuel in. Everybody has just about par into the pits.
He's put less. He's coming out with 91%.
Oh. Yeah, he's coming out. Okay, exiting the pits now. Steve F1, has he got the undercut? Yes, he has. But obviously he's had that 1 lap extra. But then I suppose SGP, it's not a case of Steve F1 going to have to fuel save, is it? I don't think. Twilight making a move on SGP. Oh, can he get it done? Yes, he can. No, he can't. It's, we see him on the main screen now. They were on the pack cam for a moment. But yeah, so Twilight, when did he...
He pitted
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Unless he's pitted again.
I don't know.
Ooh, it's getting busy behind SGP now. So, hey, doing his safety car routine. Right in the... Oh, Dave the Arp's got to run up the inside of SRI. Demon R just about covers the move off into the next left-hander. But, we've mentioned already about, overtaking around this track isn't easy. But I think one thing you will see, or people may experience about this track, is once you get offline, you can get absolutely mugged as Hay and Demon R get a little bit touchy-feely. Dave gets a little bit wide. I don't know if he was helped out there. Demon R now having a look up the inside of Hay.
SRI's got nowhere to go. Dave the Harp.
Ooh! Yeah, that was not good from Hay there. Yeah, I don't know what you were oohing at, but I know what I was.
I don't know what happened to Dave the Harp. He was there and then he's back.
I don't know. Oh, hey, sideways. I don't know what happened to Dave. I was too busy watching Hay. Went into turn 1 way too fast and looked like he clearly cut the corner. Ended up nearly taking the back of SGP as Twilight now making a move on Steve F1. He's got no respect for multiple champions, has he?
No, it's alright. Demon are having a wee get together.
Oh, kitty litter! What's that about Richard's wife and sex on the beach?
Conrad's here. Conrad's in the battle as well.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to the end as well.
Well, he pitted at the same time as Steve F1. Or hey, into the pits. I think all these front 6, 7. I think the
battling for the lead.
Actually, it's the top 8. I think all of these 8 can get to the lead.
Oh, it's alright, sideways.
Oh, Connor's off. Yeah. Oh, Demon R.
Demon R. Oh, get out my way.
Well, was it? Oh, was it? What's that I'm hearing? Demon R can't see through his left-hand side because of the A-pillar in the car. Didn't know Connor was there. All right, okay.
That's no excuse.
It's
your eyeballs.
It's not an excuse. It's an explanation. Come on, I'm waiting for your comeback. Oh, Art Pal into the pit. So I hadn't actually spotted. Sorry, that Art Pal was leading. So he can't get to the end, but now he's pitted. He can. It'll be interesting to see where he's going to come out. Okay, so it will be Twilight leading the race. May be able to get to the end. SRI, is that SRI? Yes, it is. And Conrad battling side by side. They were just about. So Twilight leads, and the top 7 are battling for the race win.
Yeah, I think like from SGP and Steve F1, they've got a bit of a gap. As these guys are battling it now.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll see later on if it closes up even more.
Well, interesting. Demon R not going for the move there. Conrad going all the way around the outside. What a move. Demon R looked like he was up alongside Dave the Harp, but backed out of going for the move into turn 2 there. Probably wanted to set up a move down into turn 3 until some Connor got in the way.
Oh. Connor tried to go for a switchback and just got the back of Dave the Harp. Now Demon R getting through there with that little contact, slowing Conrad down.
I think Connor had a cheeky look up. I think Connor had a cheeky little look up the inside into that first left-hander. Demon R dipping a wheel in the gravel once again. Twilight, how much fuel has he got? Oh,
a quarter of a tank or over.
Half of what SGP's got. Ooh.
That pal's on a full tank and he's behind SRI now.
Yeah, so he's managed to catch up with that little bit of battle that happened. So we have then got the top 8 in the battle for the winners. Demon R, I was going to say side by side. Oh, Arpal's got deep. I think he may have been trying to give Demon R a bit of room there, but gave him a bit too much. Took the hay line. So, Twilight, what can you do? Can you hold on to this lead to the end? I don't think he's got the fuel to do it. Oh, did Dave get a bit sideways there?
Yeah, he must have, because Conrad and SRI are ahead of him now.
Yes, absolutely. Demon R having a look around the outside. Oh, a little bit of touch and a little bit of
Yeah, Demon R's just going backwards, hasn't he? He's not. Not went forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, this could be quite damaging to his championship battle at the moment, with Steve F1 being in second place. I mean, Art Pal's only one place ahead of Demon R, which isn't too bad for Demonar, but I mean, if it finished like this, Steve F1 like scores a whole bag of points over Demonar and Arpal.
Yeah, Arpal getting a wee bit wider, just with the dirty hair.
Oh,
That's no excuse, is it?
It's not. You know what we haven't seen? This, look, Rich. There's another gaggle of 4 cars closing in. Oh, someone's wobbly. Someone's spun on the exit of the first corner. I don't know who it was. Arpal. It was Arpal. He's gone out of the top 8. Oh, didn't see it on the cameras. I saw the arrow spinning. Steve F1's made a move.
He's made a move on Twilight. Twilight going to come back up?
I don't think he can. I don't think Twilight's got the fuel to make it, you know.
Look at that. Conrad's catching up on these guys pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on there. And then the pack that's just following as well. This could get spicy at the end.
Yeah. I mean, Steve F1's opened up a bit of a gap now to Twilight. Conrad, as you said, has broken away a little bit from SRI and is closing in on SGP and Twilight. We've got SRI behind Connor, then Dave the Harp, Demonar and Rich Blues. And I mentioned about that pack catching up. They're on the back of those front 8.
Yeah, they're all within half a straight now.
Apart from one. Who's that one? I wonder who that is.
Actually. That can't be Arpal. Never had that big a spin, did it?
I don't think so. Well, no, he can't. Well, I don't know.
SGP got a wee bit squiggly off turn 2 there.
Arpal is a couple of cars behind Formula Gary's. Just saw him on the pack cam. Twilight's managing to hold on then to second place at the moment. Be interesting to see how much fuel he's got. Connor really closing in, is on the pack cam. Look at that. Dave the Harp with Demonar behind him, Formula Gary behind him, and then there's a whole train of cars. There's SGP still looking for a way past.
Oh, it's wide.
Oh, got to be careful there. Oh, he's wide again. He's going to come under pressure from Connor here. Oh yeah, SGP. I mean, that's what I mentioned about if you get offline, you become a bit of a sitting duck.
Quack.
Yeah. Or if you're really drunk, a sitting fuck. Hey, what starts with F and ends in UCK?
I don't know.
You're not seeing the video. I was expecting you to go, fire truck. And I was going to go, no, fuck. Okay, so what we've got here, SGP, Conrad closing in, and SRI's closed in on them as well. We then got, they've still got that battle, Dave the Harp, Demon off, or Conrad going for the move up the inside of SGP. And SRI trying to get through as well. Demon R's on Dave the Harp also in the background, giving him a bit of a bump draft. As SRI side by side with SGP. Is he going to go for it up the inside? Yes, he is. Demon R having a look up the inside of Dave the Harp as well. And SRI is through. Oh, there's a bit of contact and a bit sideways. And here comes Gary. Gary, don't do anything unless you want to be at the G spot.
Well, he will do something.
Yeah, he's up the inside and he's tagged Demon R. Oh, he's very busy.
Oh, somebody off at the back. Two cars off at the back.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh.
You can see it on the track map there.
Oh yeah.
The 2 cars and the Kayla. SRI and Conrad side by side through the last sector.
Yeah, Twilight still in second place. So SRI has managed to get through on Connor just. So let's have a look at the time. What we got? 1 minute, 2 minute 10. So we've got 2 more laps. Oh, this is fascinating. This is really starting. Well, I don't know why I'd say starting to liven up, but it really has. Like, everything's just got close all of a sudden. So Connor, he'll make a move on SRI into turn 2, I reckon. He's made a few already in this race. Is SRI going to be late and deep on the... Oh, Connor went for the switchback, but he tagged the back of SRI. And here comes SGP on the hunt.
Yeah, sorry, I was taking a drink there.
I noticed that.
This is... Like, you would think this track, it would all be spread out, but no. Oh, SRI's made a mistake. He's made another mistake.
on the pack
Is
cam, it was
Conrad
3
going
wide.
to get through? Is Conrad going to get through? No, SGP's looking to try get through as well. SRI try to give Conrad the room that he's allowed.
He got a little bit. Oh, they both got wobbly there. That's going to give SRI a good run. David Harp's closing in on them now as Gary on the pack cam's got Art Powell behind him. I think he got very busy. I think more cars have ended up off. There's now 4 that have broken backwards. So yeah, as this battle, Steve F1 then starts the final lap of the race. He's okay for fuel.
Twilight's through.
Twilight. Oh, he's still in second, but for how long? Oh.
Yeah. SRI and Conrad just got enough fuel.
Side by side, they go.
Conrad's just got the red light. Conrad tried to go for the outside line. He likes that up top, doesn't he?
Twilight's very slow on the exit of the corners. He's dying inside that cockpit. SRI is through. Conrad is through. I think Twilight realises he's in danger. Conrad's in danger.
I think Conrad's in danger. He's got enough fuel.
I'm saying he was in danger because he was sliding.
SGP's gone deep.
He has, yeah. Where's Twilight? So Twilight's still ahead. So David Hart's managed to get through. He's still busy in the background. Oh my days! Oh my goodness me! Where's Twilight now? He's in 4th. Can he hold on? Steve F1 coming through the penultimate, through the final.
25th.
Oh, yeah, he is. So Steve F1 will take the victory. Oh, Powell's sideways on the pack cam, I think. SRI is going to take 2nd. Conrad 3rd. David on 4th. Twilight's plummeting. Oh, let's all call him Fred, because he's going to have to stick his legs through the floor and pedal his way to the finish line. Art Powell, though, something must have happened to him in that final couple of corners. I saw him sideways. So, yeah. Disaster for Art Powell right at the end there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't see. I was too busy watching for Twilight. I feel so. You know that feeling, because when
that sinking feeling.
Yeah, I've done it a few times this season, because I've just either copied like Demon R or Steve F1 doing their pit stops, but they do their fuel saving, and SRI doesn't do fuel saving, does it?
No.
So and he ends up either having to pit the lap before the end or something. But yeah, I feel for Twilight on that one.
I mean,
he was looking for a good 2nd place, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, it was just 1 lap too many in the end, wasn't it? So yeah, massively unfortunate for him. Steve F1 though done well to take the victory there. He had pole position. It was not easy. It was a definite fight all the way through. But yeah, what a race we've had there, with a very sort of mixed up finish. Connor at SRI having a cracking one. David Hart getting past SGP at the end. SGP, to be fair, having not a forced change to his strategy, but in the situation where he had the lag like he did, I think he made the right choice, pitting to get away from everybody to then see if the lag would settle down, and I think it did. But he was in with a chance of the win. But then saying that, I mean, as we noticed towards the end, well, if there was a possibility of 8 cars winning that race with about 4 or 5 laps to go, I think with 2 laps to go, there was probably any one of 10 could have won that race.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, fascinating. Right, quickly mention...
Some great racing from the drivers. That was fantastic.
Quickly mention, there is going to be a G-Spot this week. I am going to try and get it out for Tuesday. I meant to do it for Tuesday last week, and I forgot. And then I remembered to do it on the Wednesday. I produced it and then forgot to upload it. And then when I was reminded, I forgot that I'd been reminded, so it was up late. But yeah, so there will be a G-Spot. It should be out on Tuesday. That's the day that I'm going to try and...
Chickens.
No, definitely not. There was something else I was going to mention. You put me off for a moment there. I was talking about chickens. It reminded me of a video I saw of a little girl today. Go on.
Go zone.
Yeah, we have got that to deal with. Okay, there was a couple of things. Sorry, before we go on to the go no go zone, I wanted to ask your opinion of SGP after qualifying, saying about his qualifying lap, saying I exceeded track limits. I didn't think my lap was going to improve, but it did. What's your thoughts on him dropping one place?
I think he should have dropped to the back because we don't know how much he actually gained. He could say, well, I would be in this position, but we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Well, he's a daft arse anyway because he admitted to.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody else would be silent.
I mean, admittedly, I did say at the time, I said, I'm pretty sure, and you probably didn't hear me, but I did say, don't worry about it, just keep in your position. Because, yeah, I mean, not that it's okay to exceed track limits, but it's a difficult one. I mean, some of the drivers were taking the piss and saying, oh, you should drop to the back. Some may have been serious about it. So but it's one of those things as well where if a driver chooses to give up a position in the formation lap, I mean, yeah, it's not like we've got a rule against that. But we have got a rule against overtaking somebody in the formation lap. So when SGP said, oh, I've reported DMR for overtaking in the formation lap, yeah, balls. The other thing I wanted to quickly touch on as well was pit entry, because we were asked to talk about it on the G-Spot and I forgot to get some footage. Now, for anyone that was watching this that isn't involved in DGT, we have no pit entry or pit exit rules. Which is why you may see late pit entries and things like that. Now, we should mention though that on GT7 there is the option to have pit entry penalties apply, or pit entry and exit penalties apply, which means if you don't enter the pit lane at the correct point or cross the white line on entry or exit, you get a penalty. So yeah, bear that in mind for the future, guys. It's something that could get used, but also for anyone that's just spectating and thinking, bloody hell, he's cut across a bit of AstroTurf to get in the pits there, he's turned in way late. Well, it's because we don't have no rule against it. Right, the next track. So the next track then is Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Yeah, be an interesting race, this one. These cars are surprisingly very, very good around the mountain. Just mention as well, though, there is a formation lap at Bathurst, and there is go no go zones, Rich. And there is also a go zone where you can overtake from. So there will be a full formation lap. And then just after the final corner, we have got one gantry, the first one, with the Super Cheap logo on it. That's the start of the go no go zone. What I will say though is drivers, be very careful up over the mountain on the formation lap. Last thing you want to do is go and spin it up there and cause chaos. So yeah, take it easy. Also, for anyone that was under the impression that it was we're racing at Spa this week, apologies. SGP got the information wrong on that one, but every one of us could have checked the track list to rectify that error. Okay, so once again we see here the Super Cheap Auto Gantry, and that's the start of the go no go zone, meaning from that point the race leader can choose when to go. They'll be limited to 100 mile an hour for the rest of the formation lap, but from this point they can choose when they are going to go. Nobody though can overtake until they get to the overtaking point, or the go point, which is a little bit further up the road. Now, there isn't a second gantry here, but what there is a start light hut stroke gantry kind of thing. So we'll have a look at that. Yeah, so at the side of the track there is the starter's hut with the green lights, and it's where the checkered flag will also be waved. So from that point, drivers will be able to overtake, but only once they get to that point. So you can't overtake before you get to that point. And then it's race on, guys, but remember, be careful of those cold tyres, and also the cold brakes. Right, anything you want to add to that, Ray? Oh. Where has Ray gone? It's a good question. I can tell you what's a bad question though. But a bad question is when a woman went into a butcher's and asked for some tripe, and she was baffled when the butcher went out the back and came back with a box set of Love Island and gave it to her. So yeah.
Tripe shite.
Exactly. But yeah.
I think you'd be giving that to Twilight.
Could be, or Rich Blues. They can share it. The other thing,
Island friends. They're just the island boys.
No comment. Okay, so the other thing I want to mention is the next championship car has been revealed as well. If you haven't seen the video for that, go and check it out. Spoiler alert, it's the McLaren Group 3 car. Brilliant car, to be honest. So yeah, further details about the car will be released to the drivers very, very soon. I think everything has been pretty much finalised apart from all of the tracks. I think one needs to be deleted, and then we're ready to announce all of that information. Right, Ray?
Yeah, Northleaf. We need to keep that in, don't we?
Yeah, we do actually, yeah. Yeah. Although there has been a suggestion that whatever season is the last season on GT Sport, we put the Nordschleifer in.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we should as well. For every race. No, you can imagine that. Okay, right. Ray, thank you very much for joining us on commentary.
No worries, thank you for having me. Thank you for the drivers for a fantastic race.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's go and check out the confirmed race result and the championship standings. So, Steve F1 taking the victory in the maximum 20 points, a good points haul for him over Demon Eye in the championship. SRI finished in second place, what a result for him, 17 points. Conrad in third place on 15 points. Dave the Harp, fourth place on 13 points. And then we've got SGP in fifth, Formula Gary in sixth. Good result for Gary. Jimmy finished in seventh, but does get a minus 3 point penalty. I'll get onto that in a moment. Demon R finished in eighth place with Twilight in ninth, unfortunately running out of fuel at the end. Bob place, Rich Blues in 11th, Hay in 12th, and we saw Art Pal being off at the final corner, finished in 13th place, and that is the reason that Jimmy has received the penalty. That won the G-Spot as well, with a special feature added on there as well. I'll get onto that in a moment. So the current standings then, Steve F1 now leads the way on 85 points. He's got an 8-point gap now over Demon R in second place. SGP moves up to third on points. Art Pal drops to fourth in 61 points. Conrad now in fifth on 55, with Dave the Hart moving up to sixth on 47, one ahead of Twilight, who drops down to seventh. Formula Gary in eighth place on 44 points, 7 ahead of SRI, who's in ninth. Jason drops down to 10th place on 31 points, with Jimmy in 11th on 30. Bob in 12th on 28 points, and Rich Blues 13th on 20 points, and then we've got Hay in 14th on 14 points. Now, I mentioned that there'd be a special feature on the G-Spot, and there is. So just to sort of quickly mention as well that, yeah, Jimmy has received a penalty that will be covered on the G-Spot, And the special feature for that is one of the things that the admins have been wanting to do for a while is to be able to basically record a stewarding session. And this incident is one that we've decided that we will record it and we will put it public so people know how the process goes of stewarding a decision. Now, it does mean that it's going to make the G-spot considerably longer than normal. However, hopefully we think that it'll be an interesting feature for people to listen into. But yeah, just don't get offended. Okay, next up is Bathurst Mount Panorama for race 6. It's always an interesting one over the mountain. We will have to wait and see who's going to get over it first and who's going to take the maximum points. Right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and we'll see you all again soon.